Morning FlossTube, I'm Sally, StitchySally here on FlossTube and also over on Instagram. Today is the 2nd of February 2022 and this is FlossTube number 17. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. Whether you are a new viewer or a returning one, it is really lovely to have you here spending some time with me, whether you are stitching, having a cuppa or whatever. I do have a bit to show you today. I've got some FFers. It smells like that was coming out at then. I also have a couple of new starts, one of which I did mention in my last FlossTube. And a teeny bit of haul. Not a lot of haul, a teeny bit of haul. So I'm going to start by showing you a book of days. And whoops, there's my January. I have added my initial from the antiquarian sticker book, and I've also added a J for January. Looks a bit of an odd J, but it is a J. And then I've got some books up here because I do like reading as well. Not that I'm getting a lot of reading done, because I just seem to have so many other things that I want to do. One of them being Animal Crossing on the Switch. We won't get into that. And then that's my February one. I stitched on two different things yesterday, and that will become clear later. And of course, with it being the month of Valentine's, I've got some sort of Valentine's stickers coming on there. I have got some coming. So that is my book of days up to now, and I am really enjoying using that, and also using the journal that Barb bought me. Excuse me. And I write in that the project, the fabric that I use, the floss numbers or the floss names, and also the dimensions of the project, and if it's for a gift, who it's for, and what the occasion is. So now I will move on to FFers. I've got a couple that I can show you that I've got here, and then the other two I'm going to have to show you on my iPad because they were gifts. So the first one is Happy Christmas to All by Shepherd's Bush, which if you're with me in December you will remember it was the December sale with my friend Chris. I've mentioned before, I think we've done it 13 years maybe, and I can never get it right. I can never, even though Chris tells me. Yeah. So I've just fully finished that into a pillow. I may well add a hanger to it. I don't really know yet. So that's my backing fabric, and then it's just some red chenille trim from the works, which I do have quite a few balls of all the different colours. So that is Shepherd's Bush one. And then my next one, that's going to go the way, put it there, is Samplers, which I have finished into a drum, and I am really pleased with this. It's a bit higgledy-piggledy, but I'm really pleased with it. Just use that fabric on the bottom and the top, and then again my red chenille trim from the works. Yeah, really pleased with that. I've just used fibre fill, hollow fibre fill. I'm a little bit dubious about using the crushed walnut shells or sawdust, because from what I can understand over time it does rot your fabric, and even though it could be years and years before it does it, it's not particularly something that I want to risk. So if you've got any tips or anything about using that, if there's anything that you do to protect your fabric or anything, they would be very gratefully received. Right, next I have a couple of gifts that I stitched. Like I said, I can only show you them on my iPad, so I will just find it. So the first one is Garden Morning from the Sewing Club book by Blackbird Designs. And I stitched this for Chris, and it was stitched on 35 count platinum linen by Zweigart, using the DMC conversion that's in the book. And just bear with me a moment while I grab my iPad. I should have had this prepared, shouldn't I? Yep, photos. So there it is, and just scroll that way. Sorry for the glare. And that one, and that's the top. And there is, I did actually put a Made with Love charm on that, and a 2022 charm as well. Even though I actually stitched it in 2021, it was a gift in 2022. And so that was for my friend Chris's birthday. I don't know what I said, because I'm terrible. I get things in my head that I want to say, and then it's just blah 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 blah, as I'm sure you've realised. So the next thing that I stitched was a birthday gift for Mouse, and oh, there we go. I stitched this one, which is Winter's Night Drum, and it is from Loose Feathers Winter. And I didn't actually stitch it, oops, in the, what was the called for? Wood Trail. I didn't stitch it in Wood Trail, Gassed Wood Trail. It's stitched on 32 count vintage country mocha, and I used Sulky 1181. Yeah, 1181. And instead of putting my initials on, I put 2022. Oops. Oh, I'm dark. Wake up, iPad. And then, if you see there, I just put my first initial there. Mouse's first initial there. Because it doesn't matter, her first name is Michelle, so it makes no difference. Her actual name, should I say. And that is that one. And then, I don't know if you can see, I just popped a Made with Love charm on the top. So, I was really, really pleased with those. Well, I say really pleased. My finishing on my one for Chris was not the best. But she liked it, so, and Mouse liked hers as well. Back in there. Oh, no man, that can stay down there for now. So I had a couple of new starts, one of which I did tell you about in my last video, because it was my Friday night sheep stitch with Barb. I think I just finished. No, it's there. Thought it disappeared out of my bag then. And it's this one, and it's Laurie Holt of Being My Bonnets, and it is Pleasant and Gentle from the Prim Stitch series. I did not have a very successful start because apparently I can't read a pattern, so I had some frogging to do. I do seem to do that quite a lot. I'm sure you all do as well, but you know, it's a little bit annoying, isn't it? So these are the threads. It's actually charted in Floss, but I've used the DMC conversion. And I'm stitching it on 32 count Stormy Skies Murano from Zweigart. Nope. That way. That is the way. Yes, my mistake. I can't actually remember where I made the mistake, but it was the leaves. So a lot of it had to come out, and I got so much of it restitched. And then last Friday when I picked it up, I managed to get the rest restitched, the flowers done, and the woman's arm. So I really like how that's looking actually. Colours are really pretty. So that's my Friday night sheep stitch with fab. Go back in there. And then I'd seen quite a few people talking about Winter Cross Stitch Camp. I hadn't watched Sherry's Floss Tube. I got behind over Christmas and sort of New Year because we were spending a lot of time together and everything, which I absolutely love. I like having us all having time together. So I got behind on my Floss Tube and I hadn't watched that video where she talks about cross stitch camp, so I actually sat down the other day and put it on and listened. And I thought, right, I'm going to join in. I'm going to have a go at Winter Cross Stitch Camp. I didn't do the summer one, but I really would like to have a go this year, so I'm going to see sort of what the prompts are and everything, and see if it's something I can do without having to buy extra in. So I thought, right, I'm going to have a go. I haven't stitched the little winter stitch camp badge yet. I've got it downloaded and printed out. So I sort of wanted to try and choose something that I might have a chance of finishing before the deadline, which is the 28th of February. Last day is the 28th of February, sorry. So I decided to choose this one, and it is Heartstring Samplery May Peace Abide, which was a freebie that Beth put out last November for Black Sampler November. Is that right? Is that what it was called? I had it printed out, so I thought, yeah, this is the one, because there is a possibility, just depending, I can get it done. If I can't, that's fine. I just want to take part in it, to be honest. So I chose, I think it's 36 count light mocha. Didn't have a label on it, but I think it's light mocha. So I made a start on it yesterday. I don't know when I'll pick it up again, but I did get a start on it. And I'm using cast onyx for it, because the prompt for this is a single colour stitch. So I'm really pleased with what I've got done so far. So yeah, that's my piece for Winter Cross Stitch Camp. And thank you so much, Sherry. I don't know whether you watch me, but thank you so much for posting this. I'm going to really enjoy that. Right, and then, yeah, this leads, well, it doesn't lead into the haul, but it is part of haul. I saw that Barbara Anna was doing another sale, And this one is Will You Stitch Along With Me, Sal? I hope I've got that right. And I looked at it and I didn't really know what to do because obviously mystery Sal, you don't know what you're getting. I did the last one because there was talk of it being a dreaming girl, and what am I doing? Ignore that. Totally ignore that because I didn't mean to start talking about that just yet. I'm not going to apologise. I'm having a better time this costume. Apart from that. So, next up, Christmas garden. And I'm stitching this with Barb. Well, Barb and Mouse and I do a Tuesday night BBD salt. So Barb and I are stitching Christmas garden, which is from Home for the Holidays. Or if you're lucky enough to have it as a standalone pattern, it was a standalone pattern which is now out of print. And I just picked, which you'll have seen before, but I am going to show them again just in case there's anybody watching. DMC. I think one of these, or is it two of these, are the actual DMC conversions. I can't actually remember now. I think that one definitely is. That one might be. Those two are mine, I believe, that I chose. And those are on my floss packs that Sharon sent me, Shaz Bruce. And my floss ring that Mouse sent me. I don't really see that very well, is it? Will it pick it up? Just a little bit of glare. Right, I'm stitching this on 36 count latte from Foxglove and Lace linens. I have no idea what that was. And that is where I'm at now. So, I think I've done some more of the border since I last showed this. And I've finished the tree. And I've done two. Oh, I need to go back to that reindeer. I thought I'd finished the reindeer. I've missed a leg off. Oh dear. Yep. Note to self. Go back and stitch that leg. Poor reindeer is three-legged at the present moment. I'm really enjoying this. It stitches up so beautifully on this fabric. One day I would quite like to get some more of it, to be honest, if I can. Yeah, it is absolutely lovely. Right, what is next? What's in here? Ah, yeah. So my next one is my New Year's Day Stars, which is a study in blue by Sue Hillis Designs. I'm using the called for fabric, which is 32 count vintage country mocha, and also gassed dungarees, which is what the model was stitched in. I'm pleased I picked it. I did look at a few other blues, but I just really like that one. It doesn't show up terribly well. It's gone a bit dull. It was lovely and sunny a bit ago. In fact, I went for a walk came home and I was just messing about, sorting some bits and pieces, and I thought, I've got to go and change my top because I had a thicker sweatshirt on with a hood and it was sort of up round my neck, and I thought, no, I'm too hot, I'm going to have to go and change my top. So just in case you're wondering, this weird, I have no idea what it's supposed to be. I have actually had this top for, it must be 37, 38 years. Yeah, I know. It hasn't been worn a lot. I bought it from a concert that I went to with one of my work colleagues, and the band was Squeeze. I don't know if any of you remember them, but this was the, looks a bit weird, doesn't it? It's a bit snug. It's a bit snug around the hips, but it fits everywhere else. Right, I digress yet again. So, study in blue. And there we go. So I'm not far off being done with the box top. There's another bird to do with the flower and everything at this side, and then just finish. I think this just goes a little bit, there's a little bit up here, and then just repeat it on this side. And I really, really do like how it's stitching up. So that was, as I said, my New Year's Day start. And then Winter Rose Manor in my Penelope's pocket bag. Not Penelope's pocket bag. I do love my project bags. I don't know how on earth, to be honest, I survive without project bags. Who knows? So it's Winter Rose Manor, which was my birthday start, and that is hashtag StitchySally's winter birthday sal. And I've been enjoying seeing a few others who are stitching this, and also some who have chosen other projects, and it's just really nice to have people stitching along with me and seeing how far they're progressing or what they're stitching. So I don't know whether I actually said before that when I was kitting this up, which is, it's probably not long after it was released. I think that would be, I don't know how long I've had it. I know it's over a year. It must be a year or so since. COVID has just done, you know, you think the last 2 years of COVID and you just forget what the hell is going on. So I actually subbed the conch for the house because there was quite a lot of people saying that they'd bought conch and it wasn't really pink. It was more a brownie, sort of beigey, and I didn't really want that. So rightly or wrongly, I went through pinks that I could get hold of, and I went with, it doesn't show up very well to be honest, WDW Rose Quartz. It's not showing. It just will not. It looks really light and it's not as light as that. And to be honest, once I started getting into the house, the one that I've been putting off, I wasn't particularly sure, but it's really not, it's looking too pale, I think, for what it is. It's just not, it's not showing up very well, but I am very, very pleased with it. It's got quite a nice variegation on it as well, which I do like. I was a bit sort of iffy about whether these flowers were going to show up with it, but they actually do, and I think if I have a problem with it, I'll just backstitch with maybe a light brown or something just round it. So that's where I'm at with that one. That house is going to take me ages, I am sure. And I am counting very, very carefully because I really do not want to make a mess of it. I've got a lot of biggish on the go at the moment, and I'm kind of like, what have you done? But I can't get it back in. I'm trying to get it back in. Ooh. Oh, just let me get the free bits of fabric out of the way, because otherwise I'll get it stuck in my zip. And next up is Plum Street Samplers Always Remember. And I'm stitching this mostly with DMC. I do have a few, we've got Classic Colourworks that I had in my stash, so I'm using those. And I think last time I'd finished the house and I'd started on the grass, and now I've made a good start on the poppies. I just think this is beautiful, really, really beautiful. I'm still debating what to replace the eagles with. I'll have to see. I'll have a look through the Brenda Keys book and just see what birds there are in there. And then I think I've got a chart of a Union Jack that will hopefully fit in the space where the Stars and Stripes goes. So there we go. And that is all my whips. So we'll go on to Hull now, and we'll go on to the one that I hadn't planned on talking about earlier. Just forget that bit happened, okay? Just, you know, pretend. So, the Barbara Anna, new Barbara Anna Sal. Hashtag new stitch along with me Sal. So, I looked at it. No, not going to. But then she posted a picture of the first part, and that was it. I was totally sunk. So obviously there's no picture, I'm not going to show you the chart, so it's the Stitch Along With Me Mystery Sal. The fabric is 32 count azure blue, which I don't have. I'm not going to buy it because I just want to use what I've got. So I've just decided to use the colonial blue. Yeah, the colonial blue that I used on the Christmas 2021 mystery. I think that should work okay. No idea when I'm going to start it. I would quite like to start it soon. I've got some mystery secret stitching I need to do first, and I've just popped. These are the threads that are not being used on anything else. This is the problem. I get sat down on night, start stitching, I think, where's that thread? Yes, of course, I'm using that on something else, so then I have to go and find it. And I should really just think about it before I sit down, shouldn't I? And I'm using, I know it's not Halloween related, but I'm using the bag that I won from Leslie Hurley, who is fat at flossing on Instagram. I just wanted to use it. So I have used it before, but then obviously I'd finished what I had in it. So that is part of haul. And then the only other piece of haul I have, because I am still trying to be really, really good, as I said before, no pressure. I'm not putting pressure on myself, but is a little bit of spring by Samplers and Stitches on Etsy. I've got the other three. I've only stitched one of them up to now. Summer is a freebie on Carol's blog, Carol X Stitch. So I have that one. I've stitched autumn, I have winter, now I have spring. Winter is not basically going to get stitched and out on display in time, but I'll just stitch that through the year. So I think that is actually everything, and we're only at half an hour. Wow, how did I manage that? So I'll just do a quick update on Jess. One or two of you wished her good luck, so thank you very much for that. There was nothing at all on either the scan or her x-ray. So the doctors just decided to retest her bloods in April, so she'll have another test for her vitamin B12 levels and also the C-reactive protein levels. He said it may well just be that she's one of these people who have high levels anyway. I don't know whether I mentioned it last time, but one thing we had discussed, Jess and I, was she is borderline polycystic ovarian syndrome. She was diagnosed with that 11 years ago, I think it was. So we did a little bit of our own research, and that can cause high C-reactive protein levels. So it could be that, or like the doctor says, it could just be that she is just one of those people that has slightly higher levels. So I think she finishes her B12 tablets next month, I think. So that's just going to be time that she's going to have without them. But it could just be that her body doesn't absorb them as it should, and she may need injections. Another thing that he did mention was, I cannot remember. Chronic fatigue syndrome, and obviously, as we all know, there's nothing you can do about that. But I personally don't think that her tightness is caused by that, but who knows? So it's just going to be a case of wait until the next set of blood tests and then see what her B12 levels are. And I do think that if they've not gone up to at least level, that they may well put her on injections every so often. So that's that. Other than that, we're all okay. All keeping clear of COVID. Our governments have lifted all Plan B restrictions that were there, so that means we don't have to wear masks. Everything else can just go back to normal. We're all still wearing our masks. I'm not giving up. I'm not stopping wearing them as yet. And I won't get into it, but there's been so much stuff about the PM and our PM and the government, and it's just crazy, absolutely crazy what we're getting away with. But that's just my opinion. It may not be yours, but it's certainly mine. So I think that is everything for today. Thank you so much for coming and watching. Thank you for the likes, the comments. Thank you if you are a subscriber. Please do press the subscribe button. I'm not bothered about getting to 1,000 subscribers. I really don't care about that. This is something for me that I want to do. It's a confidence thing for me, I think. And yes, my last video, I was having a bit of a mare, shall we say. So yeah, January is difficult. January is very difficult for me. I tend to get post-Christmas blues. I hate it. I hate when Christmas is over. I won't say that I dislike January, but it is just it just seems to be a really difficult time. And I know there are a lot of people like that. January is not great. So hopefully I'll start to feel a bit more like it. So I am going to go now because I am waffling. So I will hopefully see you in a couple of weeks' time. I'm just going to carry on stitching what I've got started and see where I am in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you for watching. Take care and stay safe, everybody. Bye.